Is Vol'Jin going to make a massive comeback in battle for Azeroth? If you want to know my views on answers to questions like this, whack that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell as well so you get notified as soon as I release new videos. Let's get down to it and see exactly what I'm thinking. So, Vol'Jin, what can I say? Probably one of my own favourite characters when it comes to the World of Warcraft. Really, in the whole universe that we've had, Vol'Jin ranks up there, for me personally, now anyway, as one of my favourite characters of the entire franchise. And probably, to be fair, he's also one of the least developed when it comes to in-game stuff. He's got a lot of out-game backstory, but not much in-game, okay? So I think he's had a bit of a raw deal. Now, obviously, to go into the theory, which is a very quick one, I need to give a bit of backstory, okay? So Vol'Jin started off with, as far as World of Warcraft goes, with the founding of Sen'jin Village, which was named after his dear old dad, after he had to give up the Echo Isles due to Zalazane. And anyone who played pre-Cataclysm will remember the Zalazane stuff. Enslaving his people. And he was always in Grommash Hold, just off to the side of Thrall, giving him sage advice. Usual bits and pieces. He was one of the faction leaders, stood in Grommash Hold, didn't really do much in the original incarnations of WoW. Apart from, during Brewfest, at 6 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon, he popped out from his little warm spot and went and tapped a keg of beer. And that was, to be fair, that was about it. That's all Vol'Jin really did. He was just there, and he had obviously the odd line here and there, and it was just the leader of the Dark Spears, the troll leader. That was about it. That's all he did. He didn't have a main role. He didn't hand out a lot of quests. He didn't do a lot of stuff. We got to Wrath of the Lich King, because he did nothing during Vanilla and BC, essentially. Lich King, we got to the now defunct and unfortunately no longer available Battle for the Undercity, and he was part of your team in that, so he was there, and that was about what he did. Cataclysm, we had the retaking of the Echo Isles, which of course led to the Trolls getting what is now their unique starting zone, because beforehand Trolls used to start in the same place as the Orcs in the Valley of Trials, I want to call it, bottom of Durotar. And then from there, as you do now, you would do your bits and pieces in the Valley of Trials, do the Burning Blade stuff, then you'd end up over in Sen'jin Village anyway. So now, rather than having the Orcs coming from here to go there, and the Trolls coming from here to go there, you have the Orcs coming from here to there, and the Trolls coming from there to there. And then it all sort of goes up Durotar the same way. If you haven't done the retaking of the Echo Isles, unfortunately it's no longer in game. It was a time limited event, and I would definitely say go onto YouTube, have a search for it, because it was a really, really good thing. The Alliance got their own. They got the cleansing of Normragan, so they got Normragan back as their little starting zone. The Trolls got the Echo Isles back. It was just part of the Cataclysm stuff to give them all something a little bit better, really. He was, from there, a bit more in the limelight. He was mentioned in the Sundering novel. He was a big player during the Zandalari stuff as well, which should be playing in the background. Obviously, when we got the revamps of Zulaman and Zul'Gurub, he was there on whatever island it was, that all the individual troll tribes were there, the Gurabashi, the Yamani. And of course, he chose to turn his back on the Zandalari, the Yamani trolls, the Gurabashi trolls, and remain loyal and true to the Horde. And he's got that line in there, if war's what you're after, then I'd be having no part of it, or something like that. And he didn't want to be part of the cadre of troll tribes trying to recreate the old troll empire. He was, you know, the Horde is his family now, his people. Then, of course, we moved over to Mr. Pandaria, and we all remember what happened to Mr. Pandaria. He already said to Garrosh at one point, watch your back, because I'm basically going to stab you in the throat. You know, it'll be my blade that pierce your black heart, or something like that. And of course, Garrosh, knowing that Vol'Jin is going to be a constant thorn in his side, sent him off on a mission in Pandaria to something with Mogu. And he knew that Vol'Jin wouldn't like what he was seeing, and it would give an assassin that was sent along with him an excuse to end Vol'Jin's life, which of course he tried to do, slit his throat. Trolls being awesome at regeneration, however, he weren't done. This moved on to the Vol'Jin novel, Tides of War. No, it's not Tides of War. That was Jaina. Shadows of the Horde, the Vol'Jin one. And if you haven't read it, go read it. It's brilliant. And, of course, that's when we had the whole story of his friendship with this human who was there at his funeral and all this bits and pieces. But a really, really good book. And, of course, he opposed the Zandalari there as well. This obviously led on to the Siege of Orgrimmar pre-build-up sequences. The building of the Darkspear Rebellion, Razor Hill, and the eventual sacking of Orgrimmar and the ending of Garrosh's reign of terror, of tyranny, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, at the end of it, Vol'Jin, bada boom, bada bing, was, in all honesty, the right choice to be the Warchief. He really was the best choice, because he's just basically done all of this. He's masterminded this whole thing to bring Garrosh down. Yeah, damn straight he deserves it. So he becomes Warchief. There, of course, after months and months and months, it seemed, or years and years it seemed, in Siege of Orgrimmar, we moved on to Warlords of Draenor, and all he did was hang around in the level 3 garrison. That was it. He was just there and didn't do much. Sent out the odd shadow hunter here and there, but he didn't really do anything. There was no major quest lines. There was no must do this with the Warchief. No, it was just he was there. And he did very little else. And it was a shame, because there's so many things they could do with him. I mean, obviously there was no trolls. Not really. Not that I remember anyway. I don't remember a troll scenario in Warlords. But they could have done something with him. And they didn't. He just wasn't there. And then, of course, we move on to Legion, and poof! Dead in the opening scenario. Which smarted a little bit. That really, really did. And the worst thing is, he didn't even get killed by Gul'dan. Didn't get killed by some fell-powered Legion war machine. No. He got stabbed in the gut by a generic Felguard. Varian, one of my least favourite leaders, at least went out in style. I'll give him that. He went out, in a blaze of glory. Vol'Jin didn't. No, he just got stabbed in the belly by a Felguard. And yeah, it was a bit of a shame. I think it was a bit of a waste. So as far as development goes, like I said, I think he got a bit of a raw deal. And I think possibly, and this is where my very quick thought comes in, there may be a bit more of him to come. Now, we all know that Vol'Jin was not just the Warchief of the Horde, but he was also the leader of the Darkspear tribe, and, most importantly of all, he was a Shadow Hunter. Now, I'm going to quote directly from Wowpedia here. The Shadow Hunters are masters of voodoo and shadow magic. They were once upon a time the highest authority among trolls. Their spirit powers can both heal and curse, walk in the line of dark and light in hope of saving the future of trollkind, doing whatever it takes to secure a future for their kin. The lower can channel themselves through the Shadow Hunters when they use their ceremonial Rushka masks. And of course the traditional Shadow Hunter weapon is a long double-bladed sword or glaive. Now, we all know that, and well, I say we all know, anyone who's done some of the previous scenarios or read the books knows that Vol'Jin has, and the Darkspear tribe in general, have a natural affinity with Bwan Samdi. This is the lower, or the death god, that the Darkspears were attuned to, for want of a better phrase. And there's been many occasions where, during conversations with Bwan Samdi, especially in the Shadows of the Horde book, Vol'Jin, like I say, almost dying, ended up having a chat with Bwan Samdi, and he promised to send him loads of souls, this, that, and the other. So he's a servant of death, in a way. He's a servant of the Death Lower. It's very possible Bwan Samdi, wanting to ensure that the trolls survive, not just the Darkspear, but the other troll tribes as well, raises Vol'Jin to demi-lower status, for want of a better way of putting it. I can't think of what the phrase would be. And allows him, in his ethereal afterlife, to become like a mouthpiece of the lower, because obviously they channel the lower spirits when they're alive through these masks. Maybe the ghost of Vol'Jin is going to come back and get the Zandalari and the Horde around the negotiating table. Maybe this is how we get introduced to getting the Zandalari. Now, for such a well-loved character just to be gone would be a massive shame, and it would be a great waste. But as always, and this is a bit of a warning I put on all of my little videos like this, I'm not paying any attention to any of the alpha footage at all, because I don't want it spoiled. I like these random thoughts that I have sitting on the toilet, which is where this one came from, actually. I'll come across it all when the scenarios come out, this, that, and the other, but I don't want anything spoiled. So this is just, like I say, a random thought while sitting in the loo. Thought I'd put it on camera and get it up. But yeah, by all means, guys, like I say, if you like the video, hit the like. If you like what I'm putting out, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to get the notifications. And the same as it is with all speculation, this is just thoughts and ideas. Feel free to leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Vol'Jin has got a bigger role to play in Battle for Azeroth? If you do, pop a little comment down below. Let me tell me what you think. And until then, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.